Hello, hello, guys. Welcome back to Football Heaven 24/7. It is now, I believe, episode 15 or 16. I'll say 15. I think it might be 16. We'll go with 16. Anyway, I'm going to do a preview of the weekend's games coming up. We've still got the Europa League and that to play tonight. Obviously, West Ham against Eintracht Frankfurt. I did my prediction. I'm going with 2-1 for that to West Ham for that one. And Leipzig against Rangers. I'm going for 2-0 to Leipzig. Anyway, and then the conference semi-final tonight, I'm going for Feyenoord to lose 2-1 to Marseille, and I'm going for Leicester to beat Roma 2-1. And then there's Manchester United against Chelsea tonight, being Thursday night, and I'm going to go for 2-1 Chelsea in that game. Anyway, let's look on to Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday coming up. And we'll just do a quick run through the games. Actually, we'll just do Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So anyway, go straight into the Premier League. It's Aston Villa against Norwich now. Steven Gerrard's had a bit of a dip. They're sort of like not doing fantastic. They're still like 15th in the table, but they're still about 8 points away from the relegation zone, which is pretty much safe. I can't see Villa falling into it. I think they'll pick up maybe 1 or 2 points here and there just to get to that magical 40-point mark that usually saves most teams. They're playing Norwich. Norwich are doing pretty pathetic at the moment. They are down, and so are Watford in my eyes. And the battle for the last relegation place, like I said on the previous episodes, is between Leeds, Burnley, and Everton. Leeds just got a 0-0 draw on Monday, just gone away at Palace. Bit of a boring game. Watched a bit of it, then fell asleep for the other half of it. It's pretty bad. But anyway, I'll say in that game, Aston Villa against Norwich. Norwich, they pretty much know they're down. They've got no chance of staying up. I'll say 2-0 to Aston Villa in that game. And then we've got a massive game in the evening. Well, actually, we'll go for the morning kickoff. The morning kickoff on the Saturday is a really important one. Liverpool have just come off the back of winning 2-0 against Villarreal on Tuesday night. They had a great, on Wednesday night even. They won 2-0 in the end. A deflected shot by Henderson and a goal by Sadio Mane, who's on a bit of a rich scoring form at the moment. I think he's scored 5 goals in the last 6 games. He's doing really well. I think Newcastle are playing some good football. They're doing fantastic since Eddie Howe took over. Obviously, they're safe, as we know. They're going to get a lot more money put into them next season, which is going to make them better contenders, I would say, for European football next season. So I think it'll be quite tight, but I still think Liverpool will edge it. I'm going to say probably like 2-1. Yeah, 2-1 Liverpool in that game. So I'd say 2-1 in that. Leeds United then are playing Manchester City in the evening, so that's another crucial game in the title race. Leeds, they've been doing all right. I just can't see them doing much at home to Manchester City, so I'm going to say 3-2 to Manchester City. 3-1 to Manchester City in that game. Then there's Southampton against Crystal Palace. It's a bit of a dead rubber game, really. Both Palace and Southampton are pretty much safe, I'd say, even though Palace are only 8 points off. But I think I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw in that game. And then we've got Watford against Burnley. Burnley are just outside the relegation zone after some really good wins in the last few weeks. Their latest one being at home to Wolves, beating them 1-0. Everton have still got a game in hand on them, but I still think that Burnley are going to win that between them all. I think Everton are going to slide into it unless Leeds suddenly come majorly unstuck over the next 2 games. Although I've done Leeds to lose the game against Manchester City for obvious reasons, because Man City are currently the best team in the league at the moment, on league position anyway. But I would say I'd say Watford and it's Watford and Burnley anyway. Watford are down, as I said. I think my eyes, not mathematically yet, but they're definitely not going to get out of it. I'm going to say 2-0 to Burnley in that game. Burnley will maintain staying outside of the relegation zone for now. Then the final game on Saturday is Wolves against Brighton. Now, Wolves, they've been a little bit ropey in the last few weeks, but they're doing all right. They've had an okay season. They're still sitting in 8th. There's a slight possibility they could sneak into gatecrash to Europa League, especially if West Ham win the Europa League and they end up in the Champions League. So next season group stages. So I would say in that game it's going to be a tight one, but I think I'll go for Wolves to win that narrowly 2-1, even though Brighton have been on a good run at the moment. Actually, no, I'll go for 2-all. I'll go for 2-all, change it last minute, because Brighton have been doing some pretty good results away from home, apart from obviously the Man City game, but they won away at Arsenal and won away at Tottenham, so they've been doing fantastic. So we'll go for 2-all in that game. Nipping into the Championship, Barnsley are already down, but they're playing Preston at home. That's an early kick-off at 12:30 on Saturday. I'm going to say for Preston, I'm going to say 1-0 Preston in that game. Blackburn are playing Bournemouth now. Bournemouth are in second currently at the moment, but they're only 3 points now ahead of Nottingham Forest, who have the same amount of games played. They've both played 43 games now, but Forest in midweek, they won 1-0 away at Fulham, who I believe is still going to win the title anyway because of the points that they've got already. And Bournemouth, they actually went 3-0 down to Swansea, but managed to get back to 3-0. But what that means is because Bournemouth dropped a few points, as I say, Forest are now on the same goal difference. They've both got plus 30, but Forest now can go above Bournemouth if they win all the remaining games because they have to play Bournemouth. So if they can win all the remaining games, and that will mean that they will finish basically as second place to Fulham and automatic promotion to the Premier League for the first time in 23 years, which is crazy. It's insane. I was 19 last time Forest were in the Premier League, so that's actually 18 probably, 18. So that's pretty crazy. Anyway, and now I'm 41, so there we go. But anyway, moving on from that. So I think in that game it's going to be tight. I think, though, that Bournemouth will get a draw. I'll go for 2-all. I'll go for 2-all in that game. I was going to say 2-1 Blackburn, but it seems like I'm being a bit too biased. I think they've still got some fighting in them, so we'll say 2-all in that game. Blackpool are playing Derby. Derby haven't got anything to play for. They're already down, same as Barnsley. I'll say 2-0 to Blackpool in that game. Then we got Bristol City against Hull City. Bristol City are on a good little run of form. They had a great away win at Derby last week. That was 3-1. I'm going to say that Bristol City will win that one 2-1. And then we've got Cardiff City against Birmingham. Cardiff City, I'll say they're having a bit of a mediocre season. Birmingham had a bit of a bad season, but none of them are going to get relegated. Obviously, now we know that the bottom three that have gone down is Peterborough, Derby, and Barnsley. So in that game, I'm going to go for 1-0 to Cardiff. And then we've got Coventry against Huddersfield Town. Huddersfield Town are still in the playoffs. They're having a fantastic season, but I fancy that to be a 1-1 draw, so I'm going to go 1-1 with that. And then we got Middlesbrough against Stoke. Middlesbrough the other night won 2-0 against Cardiff. They've still got a slight chance of gate crashing into the playoffs. They've got a game in hand. They're on the same amount of points, but I think they're only like 2 points behind Sheffield United now. So they're hoping that Sheffield United will slip up in one of their games so they can get that last playoff spot. Obviously, Millwall are still up there as well with a slight chance of getting in there on 66 points. But looking at it, I'm going to go for Middlesbrough to beat Stoke 2-1. And then we got Millwall against Peterborough. I'll say 3-0 to Millwall in that one. And we got Forest against Swansea, which is a crucial game for Forest. I'm going to say the game between Forest and Swansea, I'm going to say 3-2 in that game. And then I'm going to go Reading against West Bromwich Albion. Reading are already safe, thanks to some good results in recent weeks. West Brom are having a really poor season. They're in about 13th, I think it is, mid-table sort of place. So they've had a poor season. But I'm going to go, because there's not really much to play for, I'm going to say that'll be like a 1-1 draw, something like that. Yeah, 1-1 draw. So anyway, dip into League One now. League One. Teams that are already pretty much down in League One, as I said in the previous episode, AFC Wimbledon, Doncaster and Crewe are down. I mean, mathematically, Wimbledon and Doncaster aren't, but it's pretty much impossible. They've got to win like 7-0 in their last game or 6-0 to have a chance of staying up, and it's not going to happen. So, as I said in the previous episode, the bottom three in League One for that last relegation place is going to be, it's a fight now between Morecambe, Fleetwood and Gillingham. Fleetwood, they had a game in hand, but they lost it to Sheffield Wednesday after going 2-1 ahead. They lost 3-2. Obviously, that pushed Sheffield Wednesday back into the playoffs in League One. But anyway, let's get on with some of the games. AFC Wimbledon are already down. They're playing Accrington Stanley at home. There's nothing really to play for. I'm going to say Accrington Stanley, they will win that one, and I'll say 2-1. And then we've got Bolton against Fleetwood. That's kind of a localish derby, both from a sort of like Lancashire teams. I'm going to say Bolton will win that one 2-0. Then we've got Burton against Wickham. Burton, they're nothing to play for. Wickham still trying to fight to get into the playoffs. I'll say 2-1 Wickham on that one. Cambridge United against Cheltenham. I will say 2-2 draw there. Gillingham against Rotherham. We'll say Gillingham have to fight to stay up, but Rotherham want to get that second place. I'm still going to say 2-0 to Rotherham, which will put Gillingham in a bit of a precarious position. Anyway, we'll have a look at that. That will actually put Gillingham down if they lose that one, but I'm still going to say they're going to lose it 2-0. And then Ipswich against Charlton. Ipswich and Charlton, nothing to play for now. That's going to finish, I'll say 2-1 Ipswich. Lincoln City against Crewe. I'm going to say 2-0 to Lincoln. Morecambe against Sunderland. Sunderland, they need to maintain staying in the playoffs. I think Sunderland will win that one. I'll say probably like another 2-1. And then Oxford against Doncaster Rovers. That will be 3-1 to Oxford. And then Plymouth against MK Dons. I'll say 1-0 Plymouth. And then Sheffield Wednesday against Portsmouth. I'll say in that game 1-1. And then Shrewsbury against Wigan. That will be I'll say 3-1 to Wigan. Anyway, we've done that. In League 2 we go now. League 2. The two teams are down. Oldham and Scunthorpe are down. Oldham, I said 112 years in the last episode. It's actually after 115 years of being in the Football League. Oldham are now relegated into the conference. Scunthorpe went down after 72 years in the football conference. In the Football League even. Those two will be playing in the conference next season, unfortunately. But as we look at the top of the table, it's still Forest Green that are maintain at the top. They're already promoted. And you have Exeter City and Northampton, and you've got Port Vale, Bristol Rovers, Mansfield and Sutton United all in the playoffs. Now, I'm going to go into the games. The first game is Carlisle and Stevenage. Now, Stevenage have stayed up. They're safe now. As Stevenage are on a good run, I'm going to say 2-0 to Stevenage in that game. Colchester against Walsall. I'm going to say 2-0 to Colchester in that one. Crawley Town versus Leyton Orient. Sort of a local derby, pretty close. One's in Surrey, the other one's in Essex. In Essex. And I think it's Essex, or East London, whatever. But I'll say that's a 2-2 draw. And then we've got Forest Green, Rovers are already up against Harrogate. I think Harrogate will probably win that because Forest Green won't really care too much. I'll go 2-1 Harrogate. And then we've got Northampton against Exeter. That's going to be a tough one, actually, because they're both fighting it's second against third, basically. Or third against second. I'll go in favour of Northampton. I'll say 2-1 for that one, so that'll put them into second. Actually, I'll change that score with Forest Green and Harrogate. I think Forest Green will win that one 2-1, mainly because they're fighting to win the league. I forgot that there was only like a few points between them and Exeter. Anyway, going down to the next game, it's Rochdale against Bristol Rovers. Shout out to my Bristol Rovers followers that watch me. I think there's 2 of them. You know who you are. You're not alone. You'll never walk alone, that kind of thing, on Liverpool style. But basically, they're away at Rochdale. I fancy them to win that one easily. I'm going to say 3-1 to Bristol Rovers. My beloved Scunthorpe, who have had a poor season, they're at home to Hartlepool. I'm going to say that's going to be 1-0 to Scunthorpe. I'm going to say they're going to finally get a win. And then Sutton United against Bradford. I'll say 2-1 to Sutton in that one. And then Swindon Town against Barrow. I'm going to say 3-1 to Swindon. And then Tranmere against Oldham Athletic. I'll say 3-0 to Tranmere. Anyway, that's my preview of the weekend's games on Saturday. On this Friday night, we've got QPR against Sheffield United. I believe I already did a prediction on that. I did say that I think Sheffield United will win that one 2-1. I think I said 1-0, but I'm going to go 2-1 now. Going on to Sunday, we've got a few crucial games. Everton, as I say, they're still in a fight with Burnley and Leeds to avoid relegation down to the Championship. Everton, if they go down, it will be the first time they've gone down ever in their history. They're the longest team, second longest team, just behind Arsenal to have been in the top flight. But they're playing Chelsea. I did a prediction tonight. They're at Chelsea away at Manchester United. I did a prediction. I said that Chelsea would win that 1-2-1 at Manchester United, and I feel they'll carry that form on into the Everton game, despite the little mini crisis that's going on behind the scenes with them trying to get a new owner. I will say in that game, Frank Lampard against his old team, I think the game will finish 2-1 in Chelsea's favour. Tottenham then playing Leicester at home. Tottenham had a bit of a wobble recently, and I think the wobble will continue, and I'm going to say a 2-2 draw in that game. And then West Ham are playing at home to Arsenal. Arsenal are on some pretty good form at the moment. They had a great win against Manchester United in the last game out. So I'm going to go... I think I'm going to go narrowly in favour of Arsenal. I'm going to say 3-2 Arsenal in that game. I think West Ham will be quite tired, but I think they'll put up a fight because it's a kind of a derby. We're all hoping, obviously, around here that West Ham will beat Eintracht Frankfurt tonight in the semi-finals in the first leg. I said 2-1 for West Ham, but I think they'll just be very, very weary. They've got a very small squad, a very, very highly motivated squad. They've done some fantastic things this season, but I think it'll just be too much against Arsenal, who will be well rested this week, and they'll be ready for him. So, yeah, so 3-2 to them. And then there's a massive game in the Scottish Premiership between Celtic and Rangers again. Celtic are 6 points clear at the moment, so Rangers really need to win this one. I can't see it happening. I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw in this one. I think Celtic are unfortunately going to win the league again. It would be nice to see Rangers get another title, to mix it up a little bit, but I can't see it happening. Anyway, and then on Monday we've got Manchester United against Brentford. That's going to be 2-0 to Manchester United, and then we've got Fulham against Luton, and that's basically going to be Fulham will win the Championship on that day. And that's going to be 2-0 to Fulham, I think. I think they're finally going to get a win. No, I won't say 2-0. I'll say 1-0, but they'll have enough to win that Championship. Anyway, this has been Football Heaven 24/7. I'm your host, Jamie Carter. That was episode 15. Thank you for tuning in. Continue to like and subscribe. Let all your friends and family know, and have a great week. Great weekend as well. All the best. Bye.